What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? I want to welcome y'all to episode 3 of Topics with Ray. I decided to switch it up, as you can see, and put some clothes on. I got some feedback from a couple people telling me to put some clothes on, so here we go. I have clothes on today for y'all. All right. Part 3 of my series is going to be about homelessness. I hope you guys are really fully prepared and ready to deal with hearing about my experiences and what I've gone through with homelessness and what I can get people to share about their experiences as well. I've got a lot of different people that have sent me their information. I'm not gonna, like I said, names and everything is not gonna be discussed, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be lit. You guys are gonna hear a lot of different cool things, and a lot of things are gonna help. A lot of things that you can relate to, and I hope you're all ready for this. All right. So here we go. Episode 3 of Topics with Ray. What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, episode 3 is going to be about homelessness and all the different things that go with it. Talk about being in a relationship, being homeless. We're going to talk about all the different steps to get yourself out of that predicament of being homeless. So, a lot of people have the predicament of like where they're feeling just that depressed, they're feeling down, they just don't have any support team or anybody around them to get the initiative to even do that. Comes from yourself, by the way, but we'll definitely get into that. And I have a couple other testimonies from a couple people about their experiences with dealing with homelessness, and so we're gonna get into it now. I would say my beginning of being homeless started from I was about 19, maybe about 20 years old, and I truly didn't understand what it was, but I was going through with my own sexuality at that time. So that caused a big rift in my family and like my straight friends that I was around at that time, and it caused just a lot of unsureness in everything that I was going through. So I eventually ended up having a really huge argument with my mother. And I remember like all of my friends being in there at the house at that time, and that was when I was just like my fed up times. I just was like, that's it. So I took myself out of that situation and I left. And from there, I was dealing with this guy at the time, and I had started like, instead of going over to his house, I stayed with one of my best friends, like, who I'd probably say on here. Her name was Lindsay. So she was like one of my closest, and still is one of my closest friends at that point. And she was there for me when it came down to me not being comfortable staying in my own situation, so I stayed and lived with her for a while. And it worked out really well until obviously our personalities clashed, and we just couldn't live with each other at all either. So at that time I was like still with that same boy, so I ended up just going to live with him. Now, the thing that a lot of people get wrong with being in these relationships is when you're dealing with people and you don't even have your own foundation or your own independence, it's hard for you to even sit up here and put yourself in that predicament to want to. I mean, the crazy thing is though, is when I was dealing with that one guy and I was living with him, I mean, the relationship was fine and it wasn't an issue, but I think it was more of a fact of like I just was coming out, so I just kind of wanted to be a little bit more free and not so close-minded to be in a relationship so fast, and especially the fact that since I'm like living with the guy, I'm like, not really a good place for me to really be right now. I'm not really comfortable with my sexuality or what I'm going through, and I'm living with this guy, and it's like, so from there is when that's when I started to look out toward a lot of agencies and a lot of different things. And when the one thing, if anybody knows about here in New York City, is getting an apartment here in New York City, a lot of the people have this stereotype where you feel like you have to be HIV positive, or you have to have like mental issues or like disabled issues like this to actually, sustain a living situation. And that's not true. That's not true at all, and it's like, I personally being a worker and working hard, I've always told myself that, no matter what, I found other places to find little rooms that I could rent and things like that. But I sat up here and put myself in a lot of predicaments where I didn't need to be. Like there was a certain shelters that I was in that, I mean, just made you kind of just cringe, just made you just kind of be like, just really pull back to things. Like, you gotta really look back at your life, like, damn, like, I'm really in this. Like, you really have to start thinking about what you want for your life and what you're doing when you in situations like that. So it's like, I knew that I wasn't gonna be that person to like sustain some type of like Fifth Avenue apartment, and I'm living on Park, and I wasn't gonna be able to do any of that, but I knew that I was gonna be able to find something that I was gonna be able to have a roof over my head, and I was gonna be able to call mine and be able to sustain something permanent for myself, at least, because even when I was trying to get into college, to get into school out here, sometimes you have to defute, you have to like lower yourself in upon, like, oh yeah, I'm going through these different agencies and this for the government to even give you a little something for you to finish, for you to go to school. That's what's crazy. And it's like, my only thing to people is, don't ever feel like an agency or the state that you're living in is stopping you from achieving your dreams and your sustainability, your financial independence. Like, New York City is full of jobs. Like, it's full of jobs. Go on Craigslist, you will find 5 jobs that are doing open calls. You can go to 5 open calls that whole day, and I bet you'll get called back for one job. I promise you, you'll get called back for one job. Go to 5 open calls that one day. I bet you. Like, people don't see it's the little things like that out here that make or break you out here in New York City, is knowing how to find the key things in your life that are going to make you get somewhere in your life. When I was staying in an abandoned apartment, y'all. In an abandoned apartment. Think about that. The apartment belonged to nobody. Think about that. You are staying somewhere where the apartment belonged to absolutely nobody. Somebody can run up inside that apartment at any time and take everything you own and put a huge padlock on this door and give you, that's it. Chill out. Time to stop. Like, how do you like, when you in a situation like that? Could you imagine being in a situation like that and then being in a relationship? Could you imagine shit like that? I remember at one point, I've been in an apartment, don't forget. I remember at one point I was laying on the floor, covers and everything, of course, on the floor. And I had my boyfriend lay next to me too. So think about that. Of course, you have a support team, you're going through it, blah, 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 hard times, but wow. So focused on love and relationships that you couldn't even really do for yourself. But you had a partner that wanted to be there with you, who had his own place that he could go into. Just saying. You know? So it's your mental state. It's your mental capacity. That's what's going to make or break you. It's like, you can sit here and rent out rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms, But it's like, I mean, sharing an apartment is not saying it's not yours or anything, but you have to come to an independence with yourself in your own mind to be comfortable with yourself in your living situation, and being alone and doing it for yourself, for you to feel proud of that. Like, that's one thing that a lot of people have learned as kids, and this is true. Your parents can buy you so much stuff, so much stuff, so much stuff. And then when you lose it, you kind of just be like, you be over it, but like, I ain't about it anyway. But when you buy that one thing that you wanted, and then you lose it, or you get robbed for it, you get dumb tight now. Like, nah, fuck that. I work hard for that. That was my shit. Now I ain't got it. Or I lost it, being careless. Or I sat on it and it broke. You know what I mean? Something that sat on my iPhone, putting it in my back pocket, and it done broke. I done been over it. Like, You gotta go hard for Cardi B, you know? But there's gonna be a lot of things that come with the homelessness thing, y'all. Like, think about it. Think about it like this. I'm telling you guys the truth about me. I'm living in my truth right now and telling you guys about me. You know how many times some have people have people have probably know that I was homeless, or some people probably don't know that I was homeless. But at the same time, you know how many people out there that are gonna try to bring you down for just not having your own? Like, like people that are going to literally mentally bring you down because you don't have your own personal independence. They're so worried about your own personal independence that they're gonna bring your self-esteem even lower than what it probably is. Those are the people that you have to really analyze and really learn. When you do get out of that fucking hole and you realize the fact of like, these are the people that were so better than you at that time, and now you sit back and you look and you analyze them now. You analyze them at that point when they're doing shit like that, and then you analyze them when you get better and when you're doing better. And you see the difference in how they treat you. Always. Like I said, I've lived in an abandoned apartment, not just by myself. I was there about 4 other people. You think being, you know, and that's just facts. I don't think it's what they call shade. I don't think it's beef. I just think as you grew up, you just grew from out of it, but you live in your truth. You know where you came from. So at this time, I wanna go to somebody who I guess ran me down and told me about their story, you know, and hope you guys like it, you know. So this is what I wrote in reply to somebody saying that, you know, they've dealt with homelessness. So I told them my thing. I told them my story, a little bit of my story in a nutshell, and got them to open up about theirs. So here we go. I said, my biggest thing here in New York City is when I was kicked out of my mom's crib at 19, and then I was living with exes and even in abandoned apartments. I tried to obtain living situations through many agencies that instantly turned me down due to me not being HIV positive. It honestly made me feel like a lost cause. If you shared your story, like I say to everybody, it's going to be confidential, and it's just good to hear other people's stories that are maybe similar or that we could all relate to, okay? So their reply was, I was in the foster care system at the age of 16, and fueled by a lot of rage and not being heard, my sexual identity was never a choice, and it was questioned, and my mom labeled me along with some of my family. My mother later suffered from mental illness that left me going from home to home and me fending for myself. I couldn't turn to my boyfriend, and I didn't want to. I was with my gay mother at the time, who was also at like her brother's house, and I was all over the place. You see, my response to that was, it sucks when you're at those hard times in those relationships and when your partner couldn't do anything for you at the moment. And it's hard to confide in the community as well, as we know. Like, a lot of people, when especially being in this gay community, we tend to cling to our gay family at that time, at like gay brothers, gay sisters, you know, and like let's put that into perspective first. When you call somebody your gay brother, gay mother, gay sister, things like that, these are terms that are basically as in a second family upon from your first biological family. So you're clinging on to these people as not just your friends, but you're giving them a title of being a brother or a sister or a mother to you, you know? And it's like, you can go, just like you go through it with your biological family, you go through it with your gay family as well. So living with them, having different dramas and different beefs and different issues. It all falls into the same place, same category, you know. So a lot of people tend to say they don't have that many gay family, gay brothers, gay sisters, things like that. But as we all know, how many times we call each other sis and bro and all of that. Like, as straight guys back then, 28, it's like 2008, 2010, we used to say, if you don't bro me if you don't know me. We used to always say that to people. Don't bro me if you don't know me. We gotta make one up for the sis one though, but I don't know. Like, so, he ended up saying, I stayed with him. I stayed with my boyfriend for a while, and he had got his own room. He had got mixed up with some hard drugs, and made me lose someone else's items, which caused a rift in a lot of different relationships and a lot of friendships that he had with a lot of people. So, I mean, it's like the hard drugs thing. I personally wouldn't know anything about dealing with in a relationship wise. I can honestly say. I mean, it's like, we know it's a big epidemic here, wise, and I would say maybe New York City, Atlanta, a couple other states as well. I mean, a couple, yeah. But it's like, I really don't even know what to say on that, because it's like hard drugs can play a big part in a relationship, but it's like there has to be a median to somebody. There has to be somebody that's going to be able to say that, hey, you know, like, what you're doing is wrong, you know? Like, there has to be somebody to say that. And if it's not going to be either person in the relationship, then you're both going to go downhill. You're both going to see each other in the grave. That's when your gay family, your gay brothers and your gay sisters, or your real family, your biological family, someone's supposed to step in and say something at that point, you know? And it's like, you can only lead a horse to water, as you say, but you can't make them drink it. But a lot of these horses don't even be thirsty. All right, like, they don't even get ran. They don't even get ran around a track a little bit. You know, if you really think about that analogy in that, you know, they don't put the hard work in for themselves for what they want. So why should I sit up here and have to take you to get some water? When I was dealing with this one guy, I was staying at this place called Covenant House, 42nd Street. That's about 42nd Street, Times Square stuff in the back. And it's a place where people go and they stay to build, I guess, their money, have a job, and then you have a living space as well. So it's not like a shelter where, like, you know, they're kicking you out at a certain time and stuff like that. But yes, they do kick you out when you turn 21. But if you get into this certain program, you can stay there and continue to build your money, and until you get this sustainable money to be able to get your own apartment, which is funded and founded by the place. So it's a good place to actually go if you are under 21 and you do need to find quick living situations, because that is the number one place that I've been to, other than like shelters, which are not the best place to go to. But you pick and choose how you want to do it and how you want to deal with your homeless situation. But at the same time, don't let nobody bring you down for your situation and for what you're going through. Because you have to be strong for yourself, and you have to know that no matter what, you have you no matter what. You may have came out of your mother, and your mother may have birthed you, and you still have your mother, you still have your people. But me losing my grandmother and both of my grandmothers last year, that's just a start to learn that, like, you're not going to have everybody in your life with you forever. So you're going to have to do for you first. You have to make sure you are good, and your happiness and your financial stability and everything that you want is good for you before you sit up here and try to build upon anything else. Like, the foundation has to start within you for you guys to even meet up here. I've always looked at a relationship like that, as in, like, we don't have the same lives. We have two separate lives, and we should be able to meet up in different places in our lives. Like, if that makes any complete sense to anybody out there. Like, so, with that being said, you guys know to subscribe. You guys know to show love. You guys know already to tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you guys relate, comment. If you guys want to talk about another topic, the email is inside of the bio. Hit my Instagram up. You know, everything's gonna be at the end of the video, so you guys will see all of the links and everything to definitely contact me for anything that you guys want to talk about and anything you want to get off your chest. I want to talk about a lot of more people, but I want to be able to get other people the chance to talk about different topics as well. And at the same time, I don't want to have to keep lingering on the same thing, because a lot of people have talked about the same kind of testimonies, you know? So be able to tune in, get ready for episode 4, which will be up next week at 9 o'clock as well. So you guys tune in, subscribe, show love, all that good stuff. Topics Array. I'm out. Bye.